Hey guys, Coupon to Provide here, and today I am finally able to commit you guys with my CTP crossbody planner carrier. Now, if you follow me on Instagram and my Facebook group at Coupon to Provide, you would know and recognize that first clip, which is the intro to this video. It was when I first came up with the idea to create these crossbody carriers for the Happy Planner. The best part about it is that you can totally tweak it to fit any planner that you have or any planner of your choice by making a few punch or cut modifications. Now, taking a look at the purse that I used in the first video clip, I found this purse for $1.25 at King Dollar, and I simply cut it to fit my mini Happy Planner. Inside, I did create a few accessory pieces to go inside the planner, which we will be working on in this video as well. And you could use the same exact steps for any other type of bag that you find. It doesn't have to be this exact one. And no worries, because for those of you that cannot find mini purses, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use dollar store products to create something along the same lines. Now, in this one that you're taking a look at now, I actually used the most random dollar store supplies that I could find, including table placemats, a dog leash, dollar store Velcro, a scrap poster board, and so on. So I really do hope that you guys enjoy these two sets of videos. I put a lot of thinking and energy and effort into them to bring you guys the most affordable, adorable, easy to do options and instructions, and trust me, I did it with a lot of love. So if you guys happen to see these ideas out there, or anybody creates these ideas, please remind them where you saw it first and share it with the community, because we all want to see what you guys are doing and the creativity that you're putting into your own CTP crossbody carriers. Now let's go ahead and jump into the first tutorial. So I'm going to take my King Dollar bag and remove the crossbody strap. Then I'm going to take a blade and cut the seams of the purse. You want to find a bag that is the easiest to cut. Be sure to keep the hardware that had the strap attached so that you could reattach it later. Once you have your pieces all cleaned up, you want to make sure that you have the proper cuts, so we're going to use the original planner cover as a cut guide. When making your first cut, you want to make sure that you have your front planner casing facing the right direction, because if you have hardware, that hardware is going to be affected if you cut on the wrong side. So what we're going to do is take our planner cover and put a point at the top and bottom corner. We're going to cut across the fabric from point A to point B. I inserted the planner cover on the inside just to make sure that I didn't cut through to the front side of the fabric and ruin the fabric. Now in this slit, we are actually going to measure an equal size sheet of plastic. Many of you might recognize this plastic because it is the same plastic that I rave about from Dollar Tree. It is the 2-pack chopping mats piece of scrap that I have from other projects, and you get 2 of those mats for $1, guys, and they are so awesome to work with. I always try to stress, make sure when you are cutting your lines in this plastic that you do not push firmly with the blade. You need to hold the plastic down extra firm with the ruler and lightly pull your blade over your cut line and cut in several strokes. The reason being is because if you dig into the plastic, it will guide your blade and give you a very crooked cut. Next, using a dollar store hole punch, we simply traced the punch circles from the original cover, and we're hole punching them with the dollar store hole punch. Super simple. And you're going to take your scissors and cut tiny little slits about the width of the blade. And this is going to allow this plastic to hold on to the discs of the planner. And we are going to be doing this to 2 pieces of plastic because we need 1 for each side of the planner covers, 1 for the front and 1 for the back. As we slip the plastic into the cover, you can see that allowing that lip to hang over will cover the hole punches and the discs. This is just going to give us a nice clean look. Now I'm going to take my thick double-sided tape. It is the Basic brand, BAZIC, thick adhesive tape. It's a tacky tape that I think is really, really nice and durable. And the one thing that I love about it is that if for any reason I need to change it out, it will be easy to pull up from the fabric in the future, as opposed to cutting any hot glue or something that is a lot more permanent. Once you have your piece prepped, go ahead and slide it into the cut of the cover. Now, one thing I love about this is that it is also going to prevent that fabric from wearing or fraying. Next, we're going to go ahead and work on a pocket flap. Now, we are going to take some fabric adhesive paper. I think this is the better option because it's just nice, but you still get the same durable purpose out of it. And I'm going to repurpose some product packaging sheet, which is the gold foiling sheet, and I'm going to use it as my durable backing to the fabric. Since this planner is kind of going to double as a purse, we want to add some extra storage, and that's what this will serve as. It's going to allow us to have some pockets so that we could put some cash or receipts or anything like that, so that it is accessible when we take only this carrier with us on the go. Using double-sided tape to hold it in place will allow for us to make any modifications or change it out whenever we get tired of this one, or if it happens to wear just a little too much or doesn't serve its purpose anymore, we can remove it without damaging the actual carrier. As you can see, I am folding it opposite directions quite a few times because it is a very hard cardboard, so eventually over time it will sit nice and comfortably, and I think just adding a few folds into it just helps that process out a little bit quicker. At this point, I think you can see what we're going for. Now, since the planner cover already had the cut on the inside from being a mini purse, I decided to go ahead and work with it, and that's where the flap card holder or pocket holder came from. Now I'm simply taking the Target dollar spot label pockets and I am layering them to make it into a card holder, which of course is essential when you are on the go, because myself, I always have my driver's license, my gun carry license, my debit card, and any other gift cards or anything like that on me, so I want to make sure that I have these pocket slits. Now in this video, I did add a piece of double-sided tape on the inside of the flap, but I will be removing that because with this purse, it does have a hardware closure, so I don't have to worry about things falling out of it. So I will be removing that and it will become a pocket next. And I am also going to add a fabric zipper, and I will probably update all of that on Instagram. Next, on the back part of the carrier, we are going to do the same exact thing that we did to the front to get this plastic slip into the fabric. Now I put a piece of cardboard in there once again to make sure that I did not cut through the back side of the fabric into the outside, because then that would just ruin the look and it wouldn't be so clean. Now, whenever you are putting the plastic into your back cover, make sure that before you stick it in place that you take the front and the back cover and align them so that they are even. If you don't have them even with the hole punches, then it is going to make your discs crooked. So every time you close your planner, the front and the back cover will never be aligned. So take that extra minute to add any adjustments to your plastic cuts so that your discs are straight and your planner covers are aligned. Once you have them in place, go ahead and take your planner and pop the covers on, and you will probably be just as happy with it as I am, because I think that it is so adorable on the actual planner. Check that out. How cute is that? So now we're going to go ahead and begin creating the dividers and pockets and whatnots for the inside of the planner, starting with the cover page. Now, I did not want my cover page to be just a cover page. I also wanted it to have a function, so I am making a pocket on the back side. So all you're going to do is decide what you want your cut to be. You can use your original cover as a cut guide. I kind of went bigger than the original cover, and I'm just using the existing dividers that I have already or that I made already as my guides. So you're going to cut a sheet big enough to fold in half so that you can have your front full sheet cover and your back half sheet pocket. Now, I actually like pattern contrast, so I'm going to take a different sheet of paper and cut out the same size sheet. I'm going to use this as an insert for my pocket so that it has a different pattern. I think it just adds a lot of adorable texture and contrast. And I'm then going to take some double-sided tape and fold it on both sides of the bottom sheet. And the reason I'm going to do this is so that it sticks to the front cover side and sticks to the pocket folder to keep it shut down at the bottom. Then I'm going to make any trimming adjustments that I need to make sure that my papers are aligned and that there's no white spaces that don't belong there. And I'm going to stick these two sheets together by adding some double-sided tape between them. Super simple. Once we have it put together, we can go ahead and begin adding some personalization. Now, a lot of these Hot Buys books always have a full sheet of quotes and different tags or textures or anything like that. And we're just going to cut one out and add some layers to this cover. Now, everything in this book is involved with Valentine's Day type-esque themed, and I believe that there is a lot of love and symbolism in the roses and the reds and all that other good stuff. So I'm going to take some red ink and add some depth to all the lines of the folders and the images. Now, ink can be pretty pricey, and I am very hard on my ink pads because I do this a lot. So I suggest picking up some ink pads from places like the Target Dollar Spot. This one was 12 cents on a Valentine's Day clearance last year, and it is definitely worth the price. And I think I would have paid the $1 for it had I needed it at the time. So definitely keep those types of places in mind. Now we're just going to add some decorative element by layering on the quote to the front side of the cover. And we're going to begin hole punching by tracing the cut guide again. You could use an existing folder or use your original planner cover, whichever one you like. They both serve the same purpose. And we're going to take our dollar store hole punch and hole punch just as we did before. I did not use my Mambi hole punch because it is layered paper, so it's too thick to fit in those punches. Next, we're going to work on our dashboard closure. Now, if you follow the channel at all, you know that I am not a fan of open dashboards because it causes damage to any of the sticky notes or page flags that you put on your dashboard. Also, I don't like the fact that a lot of the times you have to tape down your page flags and sticky notes because then the weight of those little stacks will start to make your page flag stacks start to droop or hang or unpeel. So we're going to go at this with a different approach. We're going to cut two sides of the cover. You're going to need one for the inside of the dashboard where you are going to put all your sticky notes, and one for the outside that is going to serve a decorative closure purpose. I'm going to simply take both of the sheets and start to stick them down on top of each other. As you can see, I am adding strip by strip because when you fold the sheet, it will shift. So you want to make sure that you're also leaving room for that shift and getting everything in place before making it final and actually taping it already. We want the least amount of air bubbles or creases as possible just to make sure that it's nice and clean looking. So once you have your two sheets stuck together, we can go ahead and begin embellishing. Again, with the red ink pad, I'm going to carry on the theme with the texture on the outside or the rim of the sheets to make sure that it flows nicely throughout the whole planner. And of course, it is coordinated to the front cover, so it's going to all look so nice together. I did add a very thin strip of decorative cardstock to the front side of the dashboard. This is going to be the side that is hole punched and lifted to open. The reason I only did it on this side is because it just needs that extra durability whenever this is the side that's going to be open and shut every single time you want to reach for one of your sticky notes or page flags. So it needs that extra strength. Then we are going to use our dollar store hole punch yet again and our scissors and cut in our slits so that this can be attached to the discs. Now it's time to put all of the goodies into the dashboard, and this is where I wanted to come at it with a different approach. I wanted to add some pockets. Now in one of my Target dollar spot binder tutorials, I did cut up a 9-pocket file sheet, and I feel like that was an awesome alternative. But since these pockets I found on clearance for 30 cents and there's 20 of them in a pack, I definitely wanted to utilize them. They still sell them currently in a 20 pack for $3 with the different seasons that they put out. Now I'm going to put 4 pockets into this dashboard, and I'm going to add a little bit of decorative embellishment, something that is pretty universal with the different styles that I go with, and just add a touch of character on the inside as well. And then we're going to do pretty much the same thing to the front cover because we want to make sure that it's personalized on all fronts. So I'm going to take some pink cardstock, do the same thing with the ink pad, and simply add a text box pretty much. And I'm going to stick that down with double-sided tape, add another pocket, and this is where I'm going to be keeping my business cards. I know it's crazy, but when you go to Michael's and you find people relating to the different things that you're relating to or that you enjoy, you want to share that information. And me having a YouTube channel where we all come to share our awesome ideas and creativity, I like to spread the word. So I have started creating my own business cards with the Avery brand printable stickers. Their printables are completely free online, guys, and they have adorable patterns. I did do a video on that. I will leave it linked below for you guys. And I'm simply putting some business cards. Now on the text box, this is a thing now. I put, if you find someone you share interests with, reach out, talk, smile, laugh, share tips and encouragement, and then give them a business card. I thought it was a cute touch and just some fun texture, and then we can go ahead and start adding all of our little sticky goodies into the pockets. I absolutely love this idea because instead of having to tear up your sheet or make a new one whenever you remove the previous sticky notes or whatever, you have the option to keep that dashboard and just replace them all with whatever theme you're going with. So I absolutely love it. Now moving on to the notes section. I wanted to create a notepad that I can keep inside the book that wasn't too bulky. So I took about 10 sheets of a notepad. And I'm going to be sticking that to a scrap piece of cardstock. Now this is a thicker cardstock, almost cardboard, and I'm just going to add a decorative element because of course it's going to be showing in the book, so we don't want it to be messy. And I'm going to cover it with some washi. That's also just going to add a little bit of extra durability to this cardboard. And then I'm going to take my notepad, measure it to the little strip of cardboard, and we're going to stick it down. This is just going to allow us to pull it in and out and move it around the planner as we need to with the different days and shifting between future months and future weeks and making any list that we need to make. As you can see, it is totally functional in this planner, and I do believe it's going to serve a great purpose as the note section of my planner. So moving on, I found myself wanting to journal a lot more in this one because I have it with me all the time, that there's a few things that I just want to write down and keep track of, and it's just a lot easier in this book. So I wanted to add a journaling section because the weeks and the months don't have a lot of writing space. All I'm going to do is take some cardstock, of course, decorate it front and back because we want to make sure that it looks good on all sides. And since my scrap wood paper was a little short, I added some washi as a contrast, and it just worked out perfectly. And of course, we're going to use the red stamp ink around the borders to carry out the theme from the front of the planner to the back of the planner because we want to make sure that all of our sections flow nicely. Now for your journaling sheets, you can pretty much use whatever you want. I chose to go with the Target Dollar Spot pink lined paper because it just coordinates very well with the rest of the theme that I'm going with for the pockets and folders and all that other good stuff. So I am simply using my sheet as a cut guide to cut it down to size, and I really like this because it's already lined, it coordinates well with the theme, and it also has the date box up in the right hand corner, and I just really liked it for this. So that is pretty much all I did to get my journaling sheets. Now that is pretty much it for the inside of the planner. Now let's go ahead and begin adding our hardware or strap back to the carrier. So we are simply going to take the hardware and fabric pieces that it came with, and we are going to secure them in place. Now we're going to do it a little differently than it was when we first bought it, and we're going to make sure that we hot glue the strips together so that the little hardware ring doesn't fall off, and we're going to insert it at the top and the bottom corners on the inside of the fabric, on the inside of the purse. You're going to want to make sure that you secure these pieces in because this is what is going to hold your strap. This is going to need the most durable and secure attention out of the entire project. As you let that dry, go ahead and go through and make any necessary modifications using up any blank space. And now we can add our strap back to our carrier. And that is pretty much it, guys. Go ahead and clean up any frayed fabrics and anything that you need to polish up your look. And you have your own CTP crossbody carrier for your planner. Once again, please note that you can definitely make any hole punch modifications so that it does accommodate whatever planner you are choosing to use. If your planner does not have a ring or disc system, you can take the front and back covers of your planner and simply insert them into your slits where we added our plastic for our hole punches. Super simple, guys. And that is it for this project. Now I will be coming at you guys with another video using the dollar store products for those of you that cannot find any fabric purses like this or any fabric of any kind that is easy to use and put together. I will show you step by step how to use those other types of products that are out there to kind of get the same exact look. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please know that everything that I do, I do pretty much to share with you guys. I would definitely appreciate any support in the community to let your friends and family know about this project and where you saw it first and where it came from, because of course we do like to get credit for some of the things that we put our brain power to and our money and our time and energy to share with you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a huge thumbs up, leave some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and keep an eye out for the next video. You can follow me on Instagram, Google+, and Facebook groups at Coupons Provide. And don't forget, guys, keep couponing. Bye.